Hey guys, so today I am so excited to be reintroducing my Project Pan series. I did take a bit of a break from project panning just with the move. I did post kind of an update on just like my thoughts on project panning and also a finale to my project pan that I'd been doing throughout this year. I'll leave that linked below, but in that video I shared a lot about kind of how I felt like the way that I had been project panning for the past 4-ish years just wasn't really working for me anymore, and so I've completely kind of rethought how I'm going to do my project pan. And so essentially the plan right now is to keep doing monthly project pan updates, but I'm also going to start completely starting over my projects each quarter. So it is the beginning of August right now. We have 4 months left of 2022, which is wild. That's so hard to believe. So I'm thinking I'll do this project pan cycle for the next 4 months instead of 3, just because that's how the timing ended up working out. But in each of my updates, I'm gonna give myself permission to just switch out products as I see fit. So if, let's say, I'm not enjoying something, I'm just gonna swap it out. And I'm gonna be honest with myself if I'm not enjoying it. So really the idea behind my project pan now is I'm only panning products that I love. So instead of it being so focused on, like, let's say older products that maybe I'm worried are gonna expire soon, I don't wanna force myself to use a product just because it happens to be older if I don't love it or if it's gonna feel like a chore to pan it. So I've picked out a selection of products. Some of these are older, some of them are products I haven't even had that long. Some of them one of them I bought earlier this year, but these are all products that I think I'm going to really enjoy panning. So I have 7 products that I'm going to introduce today. There's really not going to be any set number. I used to do 10 products all the time, and once I use something up I would replace it, but now I'm just gonna kind of allow myself to have a little bit more fluidity with my panning. So I just picked out 7 products that just felt right to me, and you know, if that number increases to 10, or maybe sometimes I might even have like 12 or 15 items, it's just going to be kind of whatever I'm feeling in that moment, and it's going to be very low pressure. Makeup is not supposed to be stressful, it's supposed to be fun. So the goal is just to have more fun with my makeup and really give myself permission to use the products that I love, and especially some of the more expensive products. So let's get into the products. So the first product is my current favorite foundation, and it is running quite low. It's the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40. So this actually does have an expiration date on it. It says it expires July 2023, so a little bit less than a year from now. I'll definitely have it done before then. Really not so much worried about it expiring because I know I have plenty of time, but it is just running low, and I actually did just purchase a replacement of this because I love it so much. I don't know if I've ever repurchased a foundation that I've used up, so that's saying a lot. But Sephora, I think the sale is still going on. They're having a really good foundation sale right now. So this normally retails for $48, which is, in my opinion, is way too much to spend on one foundation, but it is currently on sale for $38. So if you've been eyeing it, just saying, now might be a good time. If you're on a no-buy or you're trying not to spend any money, just forget I said anything. But I also picked up the LYS foundation as well because I've been meaning to pick that one up for a while. I got that one for $17, so pretty good deal there. But anyway, side note. So I do have a replacement on its way, so I do want to go ahead and finish this bottle off. And I do know this bottle is very opaque, so I don't think I'm going to be able to mark, you know, my progress or anything, but the dropper only picks up like 1 drop at a time now, whereas it used to fill up the dropper completely when I squeezed it. And when I shine my flashlight down in there, it really does look pretty low. So I'm thinking I might be able to finish this up within the next month. I have been wearing this almost every day just because it's what I've wanted to reach for anyway. So I am curious to see how long this will take to finish. This is what I'm wearing today. It's so thin and lightweight and breathable. It literally does feel like a serum or like a really liquidy tinted SPF, but it has really good medium coverage. I'll typically do like one kind of light layer all over, and then I'll build up just a little bit more in the areas that I want more coverage, and it just always looks good. It never looks cakey, it never looks dry, and it wears really well, especially for being such a dewy skin tint. I still feel like by the end of the day, my skin still looks amazing. So I'm excited to now have even more of a reason to use this. A couple of these products, 2 of them are rolled over from my last project pan. So this next product is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and there really isn't much left in here. When I stand it up right, it settles right about here where I have this blue line, or just a little bit lower than that, but I think it is actually much lower than what it appears, so I think there's just a lot kind of clinging to the sides, but you can see there's a ton of clear window in there as well. So I really don't think this should take too long, but this is my oldest concealer, so it is the next one that I would like to use up. But it's also one of my all-time favorites. It has really good coverage. Although I feel like this is kind of not as much of a favorite to me now as the Kosas one. I think the Kosas one I like just a little bit better than the e.l.f. just because it's even more lightweight and it still has really good coverage. Not quite as much coverage as the e.l.f., but the way it looks on my under eyes, it's amazing. This is kind of like the Ilias skin tint, but for my under eyes. Like, it just always looks good. The e.l.f. one is a little bit heavier, but it does give really great coverage, so it's nice to wear on camera or just when I want more coverage. Whenever my dark circles are in need of more coverage, it's a good one to go for. So those are going to be my two kind of base products that I'm focusing on, but I, of course, still want to make sure that I'm using my Kosas concealer, especially because a lot of people have told me that theirs went bad quickly, and I did. My Kosas foundation went bad in transit in the move. I think just like all the temperature and air pressure and altitude changes, I just don't think it was designed to withstand all of that. So anyway, this foundation I am going to toss. I'm really sad about it, but I think it's better. I just don't want to use a foundation that smells fishy. Even though Kosas told me that it's still perfectly fine to use, they told me that the smell is from the iron oxides. I'm inclined to believe them just because I don't know why they would tell me that and then have that in writing if it weren't true, because that would be a legal nightmare for them if so. So I'm inclined to believe them, but at the same time, I just don't want to put something that smells fishy on my skin. It's just not my thing. So anyway, I feel like I got off on a tangent there, but even though the Kosas concealer is not officially in my project pan, I do still want to make sure I'm using this too. And maybe sometimes I'll even mix it with the e.l.f. one. I might experiment with that. The e.l.f. one I do want to be the next one that I finish. So I also picked out a powder. This is my e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder, and this already has massive pan in it. So I think this is just going to be the main powder that I focus on. I will still use a different powder for my under eyes because this one is just a little bit too dark for my under eyes. So like today I used my e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder for the under eyes and then this all over the face. But I really like this powder for the face. It's very blurring and very just like lightweight. It doesn't look too dry or anything. So definitely my kind of powder, and I think I will enjoy using that, and I would just like to have that be the next one that I use up. I also decided to put in my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is my favorite powder bronzer in my collection right now. It is Giant. So the goal with this, really the reason I'm putting this in my project is just that I want to give myself permission to use it. This was an expensive product. It was kind of like a splurge for me, so I feel like I should use it, right? I mean, I spent my money on it, so why not enjoy it while I have it? Even though it's not that old, I haven't even had it for a year. But I just want to see how much progress I can make on it. It has like the slightest dip in it right now. I don't know if you can tell, but this is kind of like if I hit pan on it, great, but I'm not in a rush to hit pan on it either. I more so just want to use it. So that's the plan with that. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention, I'm not wearing any eye makeup today because my eyelids have been so dry and itchy. I think it's an eczema flare. I mean, I've only had eczema, at least as far as I know, like not diagnosed, but that's just like my guess as to what it is, a couple of times in my life, so I'm hoping it just kind of goes away. I might get like an eczema cream to put on it, but I'm just taking a break from eye makeup for just this week just because I want to give my eyelids a chance to breathe. I think they were getting kind of irritated with all the makeup that I wear, so no eye makeup. I definitely do miss wearing eyeshadow and mascara and eyeliner and all of that, but at the same time I've been having fun just focusing on my face makeup, like my blush, my lips, my skin, it's been fun. So the next product that I picked out is a total favorite, one of my favorites of the year. So excited to just use this as much as my heart desires. This is the Revolution Fix and Glow Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I have about half of this left. If I use this up by the end of the year, that would be amazing. I think that would be just the bee's knees. But mostly, again, kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury product, except this is obviously not like a luxury product, but I just love it so much. I'm using it so much anyway. I think it would be fun to just see how much progress I can make on that and also just enjoy it while I have it. So that is in there. If you haven't tried this setting spray, by the way, and you're looking for a good glowy setting spray, this is the best I've ever tried. It's so good. It gives the most beautiful glow, but it doesn't stay tacky or like oily on your skin, but it also doesn't feel tight on your skin. It's just like the perfect happy medium between glowy and also not not oily, greasy, so highly recommend that. Okay, so the next product that I decided to go ahead and put in this project pan officially is my ABH Norvina palette. Now, you guys know this has been my kind of unofficial Pan That palette for the year. I was doing a Pan Those eyeshadows for the first like 6 months of the year, and I'm not necessarily quitting that altogether, but I am taking a little bit of a break from that project. I was enjoying the Pan Those eyeshadow series, but I also kind of want to get back into doing like 1 week 1 palette videos. So my most recent one was with the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette. I'll link that for you if you want to see it, but I'm kind of just wanting to get back into doing those, and I feel like it's hard to do those videos when I also have a Pan Those eyeshadows going on, or it just feels like too much to me. So anyway, originally I had the Norvina palette kind of permanently in my Pan Those eyeshadows, and I would just randomly roll in a shade from here that I hadn't yet hit pan on, and my goal was to hit pan on every shade in here by the end of the year. If that happens, that's great. Realistically, I don't see it happening, especially for like these 3 shades down here in Eccentric, Passion, and Drama. Those 3 are so far from having pan on them that I don't think I'm gonna meet that goal with those, but there are some more shades in here that I definitely could hit pan on. So I already have pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 14 shades. And I think what I want to do is just pick one focus shade at a time. So I think my focus shade for right now is going to be Love, this matte like medium pink color. This is such a cute color. I've been really loving pink lately on the lips, the cheeks, the eyes, so I think that'll be a fun color, and I'll just kind of try to use that as my crease color whenever it works for the look that I'm doing. And of course I'll still try to use all the other shades in here too, but that's going to be the main shade that I'm focusing on and the main shade that I'm like working on hitting pan on next. So that is the plan. I love this palette. By the way, I'm really not buying from ABH anymore. I don't think I want to support the brand, at least for the time being, kind of taking a break from them, but I do still want to use the products that I have since I did spend my money on them, and I don't just want these products to go to waste, so I am going to continue using my ABH products and making an effort to use them up. So I'm really not promoting the brand on my channel, I'm just trying to promote using what you have, even if it's from problematic brands. And the 7th and final product that I'm putting in my project pan is another rollover from my last project pan. This is the Bite Beauty Yay Sayer Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Sugar Drizzle. Just a clear gloss with a little bit of a gold shimmer throughout it. Today I'm wearing this on top of the Kokie lip liner in the shade Bright Fuchsia. I was just feeling a bright pink. I felt like it kind of went with my blue dress and just kind of helped to liven up my face since I don't have any eye makeup on. So I've been loving just like the look of a bold lip and no eye makeup. So that's what I have on today. So this makes a great gloss topper over any lip color. Also, I like wearing it on its own, just kind of as like, just to have a little something on my lips. If I want like a little extra hydration throughout the day, I can use this kind of as a lip balm because it is very nourishing on top of being a gloss and makeup product. I also feel like it does have some kind of like lip moisturizing benefits to it. So that's my plan with that one, and this one is really fun to pan because you can see exactly how much you have left, and I'll be able to presumably get everything out of there without having to remove any sort of stopper or anything. So excited to keep working on this. I think I'll just kind of keep this out on my desk or in my purse just to remind myself to throw it on throughout the day. So those are the 7 products that I'm going to be panning. I don't think I'm going to do usage goals anymore either. I used to be really diligent about tracking how many times I used each product, and I know that was helpful for you to be able to see how many uses it took to use something, but I also think it was just kind of adding a little bit of unnecessary stress to my panning experience. So I think for now I'm going to do away with the usage goals and the tracking of the uses and just use the products as often as I feel like. And you'll notice like most of these products are not color cosmetics products. I guess the bronzer and the eyeshadow palette are, but the others are all like base products and then like the one clear lip product. And I'm thinking moving forward, like I'm probably going to be focusing less on panning things like blushes, lipsticks, highlighters also, just because those are areas of my collection where I like to have variety. I like to have a lot of blushes, a lot of lip liners, lipstick colors, and I don't know if it makes sense for me to focus so heavily on one thing in those categories, so that's why I'm focusing a little bit more on base products here, a setting spray, and then a bronzer and an eyeshadow palette that I just really love and would like to see progress on. So who knows, I might pull in like a lipstick or a blush at some point if I want to, but just trying to keep it as chill and casual and fun as I can while also still seeing progress on my products. I do want to still use up products, and I think panning is a really good way to make sure that I am actually working through my makeup rather than just kind of letting it sit. And it's also just fun for me. Like, I do enjoy the satisfaction of seeing the progress in my products and seeing that I am using up products. Oh, another announcement. I know I had said that I was going to do kind of a midway point of the year makeup empties, but I didn't end up having time to film that in the frenzy of moving and moving out. I just didn't have time to film it. So instead what I did was I just took pictures of all my makeup empties that I had. That way I didn't have to transport them with me here. So I have pictures of all my makeup empties from the first half of the year on my phone. So I'll just share those in my end of the year makeup empties video as photos instead of like overhead style like I otherwise would, but hopefully that still works for you guys. I think those are all my announcements. I feel like I have a lot of things to catch up with you guys on because I took like a little bit of a break from filming. Well, I didn't really take a break, but for the past couple weeks I've just been uploading a little bit less just because frankly I've been exhausted from the move and I just felt like I needed a little bit of a breather. But I'm excited to get back to my hopefully 4 videos a week schedule. Starting now, 3 to 4 videos a week is the plan. I'm thinking instead of having like a set upload schedule, I'm gonna have the days of the week that I aim to upload, but if let's say a video is taking a little bit longer or I want to spend a little bit more time editing it, I don't want to feel like I have to upload on a certain day of the week, because then I feel like that just kind of ends up hindering my creativity and it also just could lead to less like quality uploads. So my tentative upload schedule is still gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, but if it ends up being Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, you know, it might move around, but those are kind of the days that I'm aiming for. But anyway, I think that is it for today's video. I am excited to get back into project panning. I hope you guys are excited for these videos as well. So stay tuned for my next project pan update, which will be going up at the beginning of September. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you stick around. And also feel free to check out the Patreon. I have bonus content up there each month, as well as early access to my project pan updates. So if you'd like to check that out, I'd love to have you. Otherwise, no biggie. I'm also so happy to have you here on YouTube. Any way that you choose to support me is so appreciated. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!